Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text, we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the narrative lectionary, and we are looking at the building of the temple. It's out of Kings, 1 Kings 5, 1-5, and 8, 1-13. And it's about building God's house. And so the item I'm using, because it's about God's temple and about Solomon building God's temple. And there's also a line, kind of a theme that's running through it all, that God doesn't need a house. That God lives everywhere, that God is everywhere. God not only is in the world, but God is in our hearts. God is everywhere. God doesn't need a house. And that's the theme that's running all the way through, even through Mark and the Messianic secret. That idea that every time someone says to Jesus, "You are the Son of God, you are the anointed, you are the Messiah," and he says, "Shh, don't tell anybody," because this idea that Jesus knows that they're going to want to make him king, but not the kind of king that Jesus is, but this earthly king to bring military might and freedom from Rome's oppression at that point. So all that working in, but this theme that the people see their neighbors, the people of God see their neighbors, and they say they have a king, we want a king, and God's like, I'm your king. We should make you a house where you live, and God's like, I don't need a house. Anyway, but the temple gets built. So I am going to be talking. The theme I'm going with is that God lives everywhere. Because so many times we talk about our sanctuaries being that this is God's house. And that while there is, it helps us as humans focus on God. God doesn't live there. So this idea that, so the item I'm using, I'm kind of rambling, but not really, but the item I'm using is dollhouse furniture. They had it at the Dollar Tree, like this. If you might have some at your house. It could be anything from chairs and a bed from a Lego set. It could be from Little People. We always had those. We had them all over the place. Or it could be that you have a dollhouse with some doll furniture you want to bring in, or you could get some from the Dollar Tree. This has a little bed, a little nightstand kind of thing. They had some other kinds in there. But I'm going to pull them out and go, look, I got some furniture for God's house. So I got a little bed here for God, and here this God can make sure that she has her makeup on just right, or she has her hair combed just right. And I'm using she on purpose, just to play and expand it, expand the image. But that we get this idea that it's silly about the furniture, the dollhouse furniture for God's house. And I was like, what, God doesn't live in a dollhouse? No, God doesn't live in this house, though God's presence is there. And again, it's just looking at this idea that God lives everywhere, and that sanctuary where we worship and the church where we gather is important for us. It's good order and it gives us focus. But more importantly, God lives everywhere. So that's where I'm going. That's the direction I'm going. I hope it can be a springboard for your own thinking around your children's sermon. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week.